Now what's good, more finish your girl back with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and by the title you already know what I'm talking about. What today is Mo Speaks, and today I'm speaking on Mental Health Awareness Month. Correct, this whole month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and this topic is so near. Oh, hold on, wait, before I even say that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let's get your girl to 10,000 views. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure your bell notifications is on so you know when your girl dropping another video. So let's get into it. So basically this whole month is Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm supposed to have on a green shirt today, but I don't. You know the funny part about it? I don't have a green shirt. I have every color but a green shirt. That's something I did definitely invest in because that's my favorite color. So basically, this topic is so near and dear to my heart because of the simple fact that a lot of times in our community we have and we suffer in silence due to mental health. And I was so excited to be in this month because it's geared to our mental. And I put up a post a couple of days ago that we need to protect our mental. We need to protect our mind, and we need to protect our environment. And as I posted that, immediately, of course, people started liking. Of course, people, was like, wow. And just like it was an eye opener because, like I said, oftentimes we as individuals, we neglect our mental health. We are always running on fuel for other people, and then we get left behind because you know that's what we do as humans. And this subject is really, really touchy. This subject is so near dear to my heart, like I said in the beginning, because we see a lot of individuals suffer in silence. We see a lot of, people that have been committed to these psych wards because of people think they're crazy, or people think they should not be in society because they had a mental breakdown. And when we think of mental, we think of our minds. We think of, when it comes to me, when I think of mental, I think of mindset, I think of an environment, I think of a trauma. And people really don't know, and they really need to be educated on our mental state. And it was so funny because as I was gearing up to do this video, because I already knew what I was going to do on Friday, my mother called me, and she was telling me something about something else, whatever. And she was saying, well, can you speak on, she wanted me to speak on this little girl being disciplined by her teacher. And I was like, oh no, not this week, Friday, because I want to speak on, mental health. And she said, well, you can use me and use my story. And I was like, oh, I can? I was so grateful. So as you guys know, my mother, she does suffer with mental health issues. And it's sad sometimes because, you could look at a person, you think the person has everything all together. My mother's a strong individual. I've never seen my mother bend or fold throughout my childhood. I've never seen a weak individual. I've never seen, somebody that would not get out of bed for periods of time. I never saw. My mother is a working woman. She, worked all her life. Is a businesswoman. So it's like you just, like I said, sometimes you just don't know what people face behind closed doors, and you never judge a book by its cover, because like I said, we may look like we have it all together, but deep down inside we are sick. And she said I can use her testimony. And I remember and I recall a conversation we had. I'm not going to get into the conversation in depth, but where that started as far as her mental breakdown. It was a situation that happened, and one thing about mental health, and I always say this, it's always a trauma that happened to you in your childhood, whether it's a place, a thing, an environment, a person. And sometimes we could live our life as adults and live a full successful life as doctors, lawyers, actors, business people, people at high places, and then right then and there, your world comes crumbling down. It could be an experience of a death of a loved one, of a mother, of a father, of a sister, of a child. And, sometimes we don't deal with that pain right there and that trauma, and we let it linger there. And out of a blue, something just pops up, and then we in a spiral in our lives. And that's what happened to her. She was in a place, going somewhere to see, an individual, whatever, and something transpired, where the person was not taking full accountability of how they treated her as a child. And right then and there, everything just, I believe, just hit her like a ton of bricks. And that's when, things begin to, happen in her life. Um, I feel that we as individuals owe it to ourselves to have a place and a space for our mental health. I feel like we owe it to ourselves to remove everything out of the way so we can be clearly and effectively healed in a sense of our mental health. So it's like I'm working every day, I'm living a fulfilled life, I'm doing XYZ for everybody, but my mental is not all the way there. And that's why sometimes you see a lot of people go through these breakdowns. I can even recall my next door neighbor, my grandmother's next door neighbor. She had a wonderful life. She was went to church. She was raising a beautiful son. She was a very she worked at a bank, so she had a nice career, dressed nice, beautiful woman. And then after her mother died, she barricaded herself inside of that bank, and everything just went downhill from her. From there, she would do and say some stuff. She actually lost custody of her son because she barricaded them inside of the house with so many locks, and ACS came in, took him in. She will look, and she would just say the weirdest things. And at the time, as children, you know, me personally, I'm like, she just doing this. She just crazy. Like, and that those words uttered out my mouth, like, oh, she crazy. She always doing this. She always doing that. Not knowing that she was not crazy. Not knowing that at any given moment, our mental health can be compromised. And that is, oh my God, that is such a word right there. That any given time, our mental health can be compromised. And, it's sad to see in our community, in our culture, that as women and men, we suffer in silence because, of course, in our culture, we are so made to be so strong, and we so made to be not to break and not to bend and not to fold. And it's like we get this stigma like, oh my God, you going through that? Think about the billions of mothers that have babies and they suffer through postpartum depression. It's more people coming out speaking on it. But back in the day, people, they didn't, you going through what? You depressed? Oh, well, let me stay away from you. Oh, let me not call you. Oh, you doing this. So we got to be mindful about how we treat people and what we say. We could look at the biggest people in the industry, Kanye West, brilliant individual. His mother passed away, and that right there plays on people when you lose a parent. Your mental health is like, what? I did not just lose a parent. What? I did? How? Why? And so our mind begins to play tricks on us, and our mind begins to just go in a deep depression, and it takes over us. And I was speaking to my sister because she works at an institution like that for people that suffer from schizophrenia and depression. And the conversation was so enlightening because she gave me some very good points on her day to day, because like I said, she's a profession working in this field with them every single day. So basically she said you definitely have to look at the signs of a person that's going to, I guess, have a spiral. One day they good, next day they, they just off the chain. And she was telling me that some people that, it's called I think she says a tier or peer advocates, right? Counseling group where people used to be lawyers and doctors that have now, that was institutionalized, have now become an advocate. And I think that is so dope because, like I said, we always talk about the patients and the people, but we never talk about the workers. My sister have endured so many physical altercations working in this field because of the fact, like I said, sometimes they're up and sometimes they're down. And when they feel like you're a threat and when they feel like you are invading their privacy and their space, they can just go off on you. And she has gotten hurt numerous of times. And my hat go out and my hat go out to everybody that's working this profession. Even me, I worked in this profession for, oh my gosh, I worked in the day half for 7 years and in the residence for 4 years. And I didn't work with mental health patients. I work with patients that had mental retardation. So it's two different, it's two different, trust me. But I did have one that was mental health, a patient. And he would go up, he would go down. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and anxiety. And he would go up and he would go down. His behaviors would spiral out of control where he got violent. And thank God that there is medication. Thank God there are so many resources now for people that suffer with mental health issues, because now we are seeing them more in our community. We are seeing them more in women. We are seeing them more in men. We just see, even in children, we just seeing this depression, anxiety. And my mother, like I said, she does suffer with depression, anxiety, and, also PTSD. And let me touch on that just for briefly, because people always thought PTSD was this. Oh no, you had to go to the war to have PTSD. It's a post-traumatic stress disorder where, what it says post, right? Traumatic. So something in the past happened to you. Post, past tense, right? Traumatic. Whatever that trauma was, whatever it is, disorder is a stress disorder. So not only did you suffer trauma, is a stress within that trauma, and that was a disorder. So people could not fathom. Oh, how would you have that? And you didn't even, go to the war. You never suffered. They don't have to go to a war. You don't have to be in the Army or the Navy to suffer a post-traumatic stress. You don't. I could have been in a car accident, and then now I'm suffering post-traumatic. I could have, been choked out. And I remember R. Kelly's ex-wife speaking on that on The View. She said that, R. Kelly had choked her, and now she has a fear of being in cars. So we gotta get out of our own way when it comes to people and their disorders and their sickness. And we just gotta sympathize, and we gotta, say, wow, that could be me, that could be you, that could be you. So we want to be more understanding of these disorders when people have, and we want to be compassionate. Like I said, there has been many times that I would see something, I'm like, ugh, I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? But I'm learning now that it's not the person, it's their disorder, it's their sickness. And when you realize that, you could be able to move accordingly with people that has mental health issues. Because like I said, their issues is their issues, and whether we want to admit it or not, we want to be able to love them and see them still through their issues. Even though sometimes it get challenging, or even though sometimes it just like, I don't understand, why would you do that, or why would you say that? But that's something that they are going through. And it's like, I don't understand it fully, but I've come to realize to accept whatever the diagnosis is with, when it comes to my mother, when it comes to other people that I do know that do suffer with mental health issues, whether it's depression, when you stay in the bed all day and then out of a blue it's like you running on extra fuel. And a lot of people that have these diagnoses that I've spoken to, they do take medication. Some don't like to take medication. Some do take medication. And they always say is that, sometimes it's like you feel like you're getting better. It's like, oh, I don't need this medication no more. I'm getting so much better, but you do need it. And I feel like, this is a beautiful, I am so grateful for this opportunity to just speak my truth and speak, speak on it. This is what we do. We family. And we want to speak on these issues because it's the fact that it's real. Mental health is real. And we need to protect our mental health. We do. Because as we get older, there's going to be so much that rocks our mental health. So I always say, take a day to yourself. If you have children, and if you have a sitter, a couple of hours, if you have an overnight sitter, take that time to rejuvenate for yourself. Take that time to just get your mind right, meditate. You know, I'm a big believer of, meditating and just being by yourself and, not calling people, not entertaining things and just being by yourself. It is a good thing, and it really rejuvenates your spirit and your mind. Another good tool to do to just, get your mental health, always in check. Just reflect, and whatever you reflect, get a journal. I believe that journaling is the best tool. I've used it. I still use it. I have a journal over there. I'm looking at it right now. It says most journal. And whenever something happens to me, if, a situation comes up in the rise and it's still right here, I take it to God. But I also, write in my journal, and it just releases and it frees and clears my mind. I always tell people also get a good book. I'm reading this book. I'm going to share it next week, Lord's willing. And it's actually, I can share right now. It's about forgiveness. And I'll put everything in the description where you can get it from. I got it from Amazon, baby. And it's about forgiveness and just looking at forgiveness in a different way. And the author he really did his thing with this book. So, I usually get a good book, during my busy schedule. And sometimes I just be in my little zone reading my book. If I could do it on the weekend, cool. But sometimes I'll be able to get like 2 chapters in during the day when my kids settle down. And reading a good book is refreshing to your mind. Drinking a lot of water, staying out of people's way, allow people to stay out your way. Come on now, listen, yeah, stay in my way. I'm you know what I'm saying, stay out my way. So it's always a good thing to always treat ourselves with the utmost priority first. Oftentimes, like I said, sometimes hard to give ourselves priority when we have so much stuff on our plate. But no, even me, I have a lot on my plate, but I give myself priority. When my kids go, with their grandmother the weekend, and I just be Monique. Listen, on the weekends I am shut down. Literally, I am shut down. I like to enjoy my little stuff. I like to, just kick back, just like really be free. And when I tell you guys, it just does something to my mind. It does something to my spirit. Like, yes. So I encourage everyone that has a family member that may be going through mental health issues, or maybe just going through a bad little postpartum depression after they had their little baby, or anxiety, fears, worries, or schizophrenia. It's there's so many mental health issues and mental health stigmas. But we want to love them. We want to love people through their health, and nurture them back. And sometimes even me, I can't deal with, that, like, oh, I don't, but I'm coming to a place where I'm accepting, what the doctor said. No, I'm not accepting what the doctor said. I'm praying every single day for my mother. I'm actually, I always bring her to the Lord and say, Lord, I believe and receive that she is healed, like I said, because we don't accept, and that is something that, we don't accept the report of the doctor. I'm not saying doctors is not, whatever, but we know who has the power. We know who has authority, which is God. We know God can come and heal and take it. Because like I said, God, he created us. He knows everything about us. He knows to the fiber. He knows every single number on our heads. And that's what the Bible says. So with that being said, um, I've constantly, constantly bring, stand in the gap and saying, no, no, Lord, we're going to bind that. We're going to release that. We declare healing. We declare, we speak that right now in Jesus' name. And that's something I've been doing for the past couple of years. And, like I said, when they're up, they're up. When they're down, they're down. And I am so grateful for you guys just listening to what I had to say. Like I said, I wasn't getting into all that because like I said, there was a trauma that happened. Upbringing wasn't, but it is what it is. And, I believe now that my mother, I believe that with the proper care, she could be able to walk in her fullness. And sometimes, as children, we see our parents and then we see them not in the light that we used to see them. And it's like, I think sometimes we as children, we put our parents, like I said, on pedestals. So when they in the breakdown, we like, oh no, how can you use the, you know what I'm saying? And we begin to just look at them in a different light. But I'm like, no, because it could be any, you can be up one day and you can be down one day. So I encourage everybody to take their mental health seriously. See the signs in your family members if they're, doing stuff that they're not, supposed to be doing, as far as like maybe sleeping longer, maybe not want to get out the bed, maybe, just living in a fantasy world, and just check on your family members. That's the thing I'm trying to convey. We need to check on our family members. Just shoot them a text. Hey, how you doing? Hope all is well. And that means a lot to people that's going through a mental health crisis. Just a text, just pictures. And that's something that I try to do daily, send pictures of my children to people. And people be like, oh my, well, family members, of course, not just regular people, like family members, their uncle, my sister, their grandmothers. They be, oh my God, oh, so cute. I needed that today. I always feel like kids is an icebreaker. People love kids. Most, of course, most people, love kids and stuff like that. So, I send pictures. Oh my God, I'm sending pictures constantly to people, to my family members, to my, close friends of the kids. Oh, look what this person did today. Or look what Amanda Mari did. Or look what London did. Or look what Nia did. And I'm constantly making sure, good morning, how's everything? Or, my sister, we got this thing where we text each other in the morning time, but, sometimes she beat me to the good mornings, but I'm like, good morning. I texted my brother this morning. I was like, good morning, have a good day. And, I text my husband, good morning, have a, like, this, you don't know what that good morning means to people when they're going, like, you just be like, wow, it's the good morning for me. My daughter was calling me, so I had to, but anyway, it's the good mornings for me, and hope all is well within your spirit and your soul. So as I wrap up this Mo Speaks, I just want to give a wonderful shout out to all the mothers out there that's making a way to put food on their table for their kids, to hustle, to grind, to wake up, to do this, X, Y, and Z. Like I said, we're in a pandemic still, and COVID is still real, even though 99% of people is vaccinated, but we really work hard for our kids. I mean, I take my hat off to every single mother that's out there that's playing dual roles. Yes, we go speak still. That's playing dual roles to a child, being their mother and their father, and they counsel, their lawyer, they doctor, they everything. So big shout out to each and every individual that's a mother that stepped up to take this special, this is special to be a mother. I've always said this in my past videos, even now, it's a blessing to be a mother. Yes, sometimes it gets draining, it gets frustrating. We go talk. It gets annoying at times. Yes, it does. It also gets overwhelmed at times, especially if you're doing it by yourself, or if you are the sole provider for them, or if you just, just doing every single thing. And like I said, it gets overwhelming sometimes, but I, Lord Jesus Christ, would not trade my 4 beautiful kids for nothing. And I just commend everybody out there that's hustling, like I said, securing that bag for their kids, whether you home, whether you out making, bands, whether you out in the street, wherever you at, making it shake for your kids. I commend you. I commend everybody that is out there hustling, like I said, once again, hustling, making sure their kids have a better life, making sure their kids have a better education than they have had. And it's just a blessing to be a mother. Like I said, I don't believe that Mother's Day should just be one day. I believe that the kids should honor their parents every single day. And that's something I'm trying to tell my kids. Yes, honor me, right? Don't honor me one day out the month, out the year. Honor me every single day, because I honor you guys every single day. And this weekend I have the funny part about it, I don't have any really real plans this weekend. I was supposed to go out with my mother, my sister, but I'm going to Puerto Rico, so it's like, my funds is already tied up to, X, Y, and Z, but they understood that, so that was a good thing. I don't know what I don't know what oh yeah, I asked my husband, one thing I did want was some type this West Indian food that we had a couple of Saturdays ago. It was so delicious. And just to relax and just relax. I don't know. I don't know. Mother's Day is such a big thing to me. As you guys already know, oh, that's a story time. But I'm gonna make it into a story time, but I'm gonna say 3 years ago I was in the hospital on Mother's Day after I gave birth to my daughter. Um, and that was a whole ordeal, 12 days. Anyway, that's a story time coming in a couple of weeks. But I was in the hospital. And so, even though previously I've celebrated many Mother's Days, but this one I couldn't celebrate because I was up in the hospital with an IV in my arm. And like I said, God is good. And I was listening to that song the other day, God blocked it. He wouldn't let me, so he just could not let me go. And like I said, I was in the hospital right around Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, it was raining, I remember. I got up, called the cab, and I had to be admitted. For 12 days, I was in the hospital, going out my mind because, like I said, it wasn't looking good for me. And as I was in reflection all through this week about this whole week, because it was a whole week process where I just was just sick to my soul. I was sick. I was literally sick with fever to 102, fever to 103, fever. God, I had fever, and not baby fever. No, I'm just saying, but fever. And I was I was sick in a bad way after I had her, and I had via cesarean, and I was sick in a bad way. And the doctors couldn't understand what was going on. I knew something was not right. And then, but by the grace of God, by his grace, by his stripes, I remember, like I said, Mother's Day means so much to me. Not just because, but because of the date. It's the date. And it's what happened around up until Mother's Day that just, I could just, like I said, that's a story time in itself. But I just want you guys to be blessed, beautiful queens. Continue to take care of your mental health. Continue to take care, and beautiful kings too. Because, men, they, but be blessed, be secure, be affirmed in the season, and be elevated. That's what I want us to be walking in. Elevation in this season. I like what Coyle Ray said, I'm only doing things that's going to elevate me. Like, if it's not elevating Monique R, if it's not elevating my mental health, if it's not elevating my soul and my spirit, I'm gonna have to pass. I said what I said on Most Speaks. I love you guys. I am so grateful for you guys. Please be well over this weekend as we enjoy our beautiful mothers, our beautiful queens. Lift them up every day in prayer, and lift them up that God would continue to give them the strength that they need to take care of a household, still have to work outside of the household, and still have to work inside of the household. And that's my life. I work inside of my household every single day, and working and just having the business and like I said, I need to be more celebrated, and I think I've said that through the years, to my significant other. I need to be more celebrated, and I gotta speak real when it's real, because I can't just come on here and just speak gibberish. I gotta speak it. I need to be more celebrated. I need to be more valued, as a mother, as everything. Like I said, I hold everything down. I literally do it as a mother. I cook every day. I clean. I take the kids to the doctors. I do actually every single thing, everything. Um, as far as like paying bills, my husband, he does that, but as far as everything up in here, I do everything. And like I said, I need to be more celebrated, because like I said, like when the pandemic happened, I automatically moved my work to home, because I want the kids to go to school, and my job I was able to still work from home and still, secure a bag. And so I'm still working from home and still having two businesses. So I need to be, and still have to do, and handle kids and teach them and make sure they doing correction. I need to be celebrated more. So yeah, I do. So have a wonderful, blessed weekend. Next week I will be showing you guys some stuff that I got for my vacation. That girl went crazy. Oh my God. I see you when I see you.